Okay, hi everyone. Good afternoon. If you are listening and having your lunch break, let me know that you can hear me. Just give a little wave or heart or question. I have been asked this question a lot because I am the founder of Obsidian Womb Wellness, and people ask me all the time, well, what's the difference between Obsidian versus Jade Eggs? So before I kind of break that down, like what is a Yoni egg and why are you here? There's a lot of misinformation going on. And yeah, if you're watching, wave, let me know you can hear me. I'm just double checking on my, what's it called, my little microphone here. So my work here is to educate, advocate, and empower women to make healthy, informed decisions about their bodies. And so it is not, it's not a new thing, the Yoni egg. It's actually a 2,000-year-old practice, okay? And there's a lot of misconstruity around this. There's a lot of misuse. And because of that, there's some harm happening in our community. So I just want to educate you a little bit about the choices that you might be making for your body out there, especially when you're in the market for a Yoni egg or for trying something new out. So like I said before, the practice of the Yoni egg goes back to about 2,000 years in the old Taoist tantric arts of China, but it's also been found in Africa and Native American traditions, one which I specifically work in. So it's not new to insert things into the vaginal canal, right? We've been doing that for many, many lifetimes now. It's important though that whatever you insert in there to know and be educated properly about it, because our bacterial environment in there is very, very sensitive. Our micro organisms, our tissue is some of the most sensitive tissue. It is the most sensitive tissue of our entire body, and we insert tampons up there, and those create things like toxic shock syndrome. We allow, penetration not only from different men or people, but from different sex toys and tools that are synthetic out there. So it is not new and uncommon that women have been inserting crystals, stones, into their vaginal canals to strengthen, to tonify, to increase pleasure, and to reduce pain. So what do Yoni eggs do? So Yoni, as you guys might know, but 101 is Yoni is a Sanskrit word for the vagina. And so as we start to talk about the eggs a little bit, the egg is the symbol for life, for fertility. When it's actually inserted up into the vaginal canal, there's different parts of the vaginal canal. And it's most stones in general, what they do is they strengthen the deep urogenital muscles. These are deep intrinsic pelvic floor muscles. These are essentially our core muscles that become weakened because we don't use them. Not only do they strengthen these muscles, but it increases circulation. As we increase circulation, our hormones and our organs and our blood can function more optimally. So this helps to balance our hormones. It increases fertility, lubrication, it can increase libido, it can increase orgasm and pleasure centers down there. And so this is what I'm saying right now is all inclusive to all type of Yoni eggs. And so as it increases, circulation and muscle tone, especially if you add specific Kegel exercises, what this does, it actually creates more jing, more what the Taoists call is our sexual life force potency and energy. And so when we can increase that, we can generate it in a way that not only creates more resilience to disease in our body, but more longevity. We can shine and be more optimal in our energy longer and for longer amounts of times and for longer years to come. So it's a longevity practice. And that's actually what the Jade Egg practice is all about, longevity. Before I go specifically into that, and some of you know that I specifically work with the Obsidian. Obsidian is a very different energetic attribute. And so just hang on for a moment because I'm going to go into why Obsidian and Jade are so different. But right now it's like I want to be kind of all inclusive about what the vaginal Yoni egg stones do for us. Do you have any questions though? Because you're here. I see some of you watching, waving, maybe curious. Yeah. So, and I'm going to go into Jade for a second, and I'm actually not, I'm not an expert in the Jade Egg. And I would like to say though that jade is one of the most common stones that beginners use and it's one of the most safest stones to use in the body, and because of that, it's a stone that is known to create grounding, longevity. It's another stone that is good for the kidney jing, the kidney essence. A lot of us have depletion in our kidneys. The jade egg has less contraindications as, say, the obsidian. I know obsidian, we can't work with it if we're pregnant or breastfeeding or have IUDs. I'm going to say in general, if you are working with an IUD, I actually don't think you should be working with a Yoni stone. I'm going to talk about that tomorrow in my webinar, and I'll post that here. So right now, just to kind of give you a little bit, in the Tao Tantric arts in ancient China, it was the concubines and the Chinese queens that worked with the jade egg. And they did it as a way to sustain their sexual life force energy. So they would not only live longer, but they would maintain their youthfulness and their shininess. And so it's said to be a stone of great fortune. And those who work with it will have longevity and long life and be able to sustain their sexual life force energy and their orgasms longer, and therefore being able to please their lover for more longer sustained amounts of time, right? So I like that. And some of you know, so I've been working back and forth with Halo Saranko from the Shakti Temple Arts, because she has the Jade Egg initiation, and we both have taught in each other's programs and shared a little bit of information with each other. And I remember her saying, like, well, I feel like the Jade Egg is like Kuan Yin and the obsidian is like Kali Ma. Okay, so these are like, different deities, so they're not really congruent to the lineages we work in, but just to kind of give a metaphor of like what the differences might be in working with these stones. It's definitely safer to go the route of just getting a jade egg. You want to make sure it's non-porous. You want to make sure it comes from a kosher source, okay? Two other things I want to educate you on, because I see sisters getting stones that they have no education about. Sometimes stones are shaped like eggs and they think that they can use them and insert them up there because they're excited, about this new opportunity that they heard about. But there are a lot of stones that are porous, which mean that they disintegrate inside of you and they're toxic. And also like some forms of jade, I believe, can be porous. So you also want to make sure it's coming from a kosher source. So you want to make sure that you're getting it from somebody that you can communicate with and that they can confirm for you where the source is and how it was produced. I work with obsidian that comes from Mexico. I actually go and stay with the family who's been in the trade of making and producing obsidian stones for many generations back. So I'm actually there. I'm in the factory with them. I know where it's coming from. I'm having them blessed by the grandmothers of the lineage I work with. So that's how I assure people that there is integrity connected to this. And if you're putting something in there, the most sacred place of your body, it's important to have education. So again, another little piece about education is size. Sometimes women are putting stones in their body that are way too big, and I've seen this happening where they put a stone, and I'm just going to call you guys out on it, and you can respond here and start any kind of conversation you want on this thread. But a lot of stones that are about 35 to 50 millimeters, which is like, this is supposedly the large stone size. Most people start out with large, and you don't actually need to, because of course it helps you to sensitize and feel everything down there, but it does not allow you to develop, strengthen, and sensitize to your genital muscles. It doesn't allow you to create any sensation of holding and pushing it out because it's already there pressing against you. And so I've come across women who've had bladder infections and then they could not pee on command because their stone was in for too long and it was too big and they didn't receive the right instructions about it. So sisters, this is just an opportunity to like get informed, ask questions, and find a teacher. So I don't want to see the misuse of this happening where you're actually creating more harm than good. Yes, these stones can help you. They can regenerate your energy. They can build it. They can help you create magnificent breakthroughs in your sex life and even in your ancestry and in diseases that have been created in your body. So again, make sure that you get the right information. I start women out with a size medium. You don't need a large size unless you've given birth and you've stretched a lot, okay? Another thing, so medium is about 30 to 45 millimeters and it helps you to kind of strengthen and use some Kegels actions. Kegels is the complete contraction and isolation and release of the muscle after. So you're not just contracting. That's another misconception, is that we need to contract and hold. We're already really tight up there. So we need to actually learn how to equally relax, which is what is going to allow things to drop and come out. Which is why I do not drill holes in my yoni stones, okay? I actually do not believe in that unless there is some type of a condition of like a prolapsed uterus or extremely tight pelvic floor, in which case too I do have women and identified females consult with doctors, and doctors are not super pro advocates of yoni stones yet, but I think it's still important to make sure you do your homework. I'm always available to have consultation and talk with you about the choices that you're making about your body, whether you are buying something from me or not. This is not about a sale right now. I'm going to have a webinar tomorrow on the Obsidian Yoni Egg, and it's at 12 p.m. and I'll post a link here if you're interested. Just let me know you're interested and you'll get to come to that masterclass for free. I only offer that once a year for free. But I am getting back to the point of why I don't drill holes in it. Drilling holes then allows for there to be a string, right, that pulls it out of you. And if it gets pulled out of you, then again, you're teaching your body not to develop any muscles down there to push it out or to pull it in. A lot of times that happens because women want to use stones that have holes in them because it gives them the sense of security, like it's not going to get lost or stuck. Those are the blocks you need to move through, my dear, because again, it's not teaching you to develop and sensitize to what's going on down there. Yes, it can't get stuck. Nothing can pass through the vaginal canal, the cervix, actually, you cannot pass through the cervix, okay? If it's stuck, there are ways to relax. And if you come on my webinar tomorrow, I'll give you those tips, yoni steams, compresses, different meditations. So with that said, one other thing is about the strict hygienic protocol. And yeah, I didn't get to the tips about the obsidian yet, so just stay tuned for another minute or two. I'm going to wrap this up for you. Hygiene is really important, okay? I was at a women's conference last year, and there's this woman there who was a very popular tantra teacher, and she was sitting and giving sessions to women all day, and she was selling them yoni eggs. And a woman came back to me and said, can you tell me what this stone is? She didn't know what type of stone it was, right? And it was way too big. It was like twice the size of the large one that I give. And I just remember feeling, oh my dear Lord, like what she didn't tell you what it was or where it came from or how to use it. And you're coming to me and like asking me. And I went to her too, and she had approached me and said she wanted to trade with me for an obsidian egg. And what she did, she wanted to show me the eggs that she had. She took her purse, her personal purse that has all of her belongings in it. She dumped it upside down, and a bunch of stones just emptied out of it, and they were full of dust. And she again approached me with these stones that looked really cool, and she didn't know where they came from. And I just was appalled. I was completely appalled because I had this deep concern for my sisters that were receiving stones from her and being completely miseducated, misguided, and maybe even harmed. So yeah, I actually got together with the organizers of that gathering, and we sat down with her and had a good talk about what it means to be a woman's health advocate and to advocate for another woman's health and well-being, and how important it is to carry responsibility of selling these tools. It's not selling a tool, it's actually advocating and educating for someone's health. So with that said, the Obsidian Yoni Egg is a therapeutic tool that heals memories of the female genital tract. it's different because it's not a stone that actually grows and crystallizes on the earth. It comes from the center of the earth. It's volcanic glass. So because it comes from the center of the earth, it has the memory of Earth, the billions of years that the Earth has been here. And as you can imagine, it gets pushed to the surface because it's volcanic. And in that way, it cools and dries and becomes glass-like. It has the ability to erupt dormant memories. In the same way, it has that ability to erupt like a volcanic force. Excuse me. So we have dormant memories in our body from past lovers, from our mothers, from our ancestors, past lives, from the collective subconsciousness, right? There's things that we don't even cognitively remember, but that they're running course of belief systems, and they're creating the root causes of disease in our body. So a lot of us have female reproductive imbalances, and or just to be out of balance in our female energy system means that it's going to manifest a number of ways. It can manifest through cysts. It can be vaginal infections, menstrual pain, fibroids, cancers, unfulfilling relationship patterns, really toxic cycles that we get into. And it can even go up to breast and autoimmune and heart health. So all of this is when the feminine yin comes out of balance. So what this stone, the obsidian, does, it connects us to our feminine yin energy and our internal lunar cycles. And so it's an ancient practice that is used to heal trauma, to give strength as well, and to also maintain our vital sexual organs. So it does everything, I believe it does everything that the jade egg does, and more, because it's a psychoenergetic stone. It's a therapy. It requires a lot of strength and integrity to be able to work with it. And not only does it help you to increase your self-control and set better boundaries, but it actually forces you to face up to your true self, all those cobwebs of subconscious patterns that you maybe hide under. And those are the true things that you need to look at to be able to uproot ancestral patterns and traumas and things that manifest as disease and lack of ease. So it's kind of like putting a mirror up to you and having everything to just purge out. So it's kind of purgative. It's a very detoxing stone. It has taken over my life. Like, I actually don't even have a choice in the matter, except that I've committed to women's health. I've had a few miracle healings myself from having irregular periods, dysmenorrhea, ovarian cysts, just to name a few, and having gone on a journey to work now for over 10 years of female lineage in Mexico. This vision of the obsidian egg has come about, and it's been helping women to overcome all these types of symptoms. It is an extensive protocol, but I want to share it with you. So if you have time tomorrow at noon, 12 p.m. noon, I'm going to have a masterclass called the Intro to the Obsidian Egg. And if you want to come and learn about the protocol, it takes about 90 minutes for me to go over the lineage, the practice of working with it, how to clean and prepare it properly. That's really important. It's a very absorbent stone. It'll just pull energy out of you that's negative. And so it's good to know how to clean that and to release it after. So I'm excited to share it with you. And I actually really just invite you to come and get informed, because you don't have to sign up for anything. Yes, I have programs around it where I support women for 3 months, 6 months at a time, and I'm happy to, support you and have conversations with you about what's going on with your health. But come and get informed first. Just come learn about it, learn what is possible, how it might help you or your sisters, and to also just have the right information about Yoni eggs in general, so that you can make the right choice for yourself and maybe support that in another sister who's getting curious. I think it's time. I think it's time that we take a stand for our health on a greater level. I know that this became popular recently because of what's her name, the celebrity Gwyneth Paltrow. How do you say her last name? Anyway, she kind of brought out the jade egg, and it kind of went all over like media, and there's been a lot of rap about it lately. So feel free to share your questions, your thoughts, your opinions, your experience, and I'm just excited to educate about this topic today. So thanks for hearing me. And feel free to come join me tomorrow. If you can't make it to the webinar that I'm having, you can write me an email and I'll send you a 48-hour replay. Okay? All right. Mwah.